So, Marcellus, would it be a smart move for the Eagles to trade Carson Wentz?
Yeah, it's time to let him go, man. Let him go. Bye-bye. Yeah, and it's not even because of how bad he performed this year. Obviously, that gives you a foundation to build upon where you say it's time for him to exit Philadelphia. I'm trying to be serious on this one because you know how bad I think he is as a quarterback. But I don't want him to have to return to the scene of the crime. And the scene of the crime looks like this for y'all who have not crossed the yellow tape. There's a statue of his former backup that he has to see every time he pulls into the stadium. And then you're like, oh, that's not that bad. It's just once every other 2 weeks. Okay, how about now you want him to go to practice and see the same guy who just took his job as a rookie last year and fight for his job? When I'm going to tell people who don't know how the NFL really feels. One, when you're making more money than somebody, you already feel like, I got him. He ain't got him. And then two, the coach of their group, their position group coach, is his uncle, Jalen Hurts' uncle. Okay, three, he already took your job before. So you got to go to practice every day and see the guy who took your job. And then you got to go to the stadium and see the guy who not only took your job, but got a Vince Lombardi trophy for the city and the organization. Why make him return to that scene of that crime? The dude will be PTSD in that situation. And it means something different in Philly. It means Philly's trash, sorry dude gots to go. Yes, right. Damn it, I said it. Let that man go, have a change of scenery like Alex Smith did. And Alex Smith was bad to good in San Fran, but a change of scenery did well for him going forward. Ryan Tannehill, bad to good to change of scenery, even better. Jay Cutler, I have a list here. Basically, let him go. Let him free so we can see the best of Carson Wentz.
I kind of agree. Because Carson Wentz wants out, it's probably smart to trade him.
Okay.
But I don't think the Eagles should trade him because if you're trading Carson Wentz, then you're hoping that with those draft picks, you can get something that will amount to greater than Carson Wentz. That's the first thing. The second thing you're hoping and trusting is that Jalen Hurts is a quarterback of the future.
Okay.
Now, I can tell you while there are errors in both of those logics that you have. Number one, Jalen Hurts. How great is he? Let's bring up the full screen if we shall.
Uh-oh.
Of all the completion percentages of quarterbacks who threw more than 125 attempts, 41 quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts had the worst in the league. And this isn't Acho cooking books. This isn't me searching for a stat. Completion percentage is a top 5 statistic when assessing a quarterback. Jalen Hurts was the worst. Let's talk about Jalen Hurts as a winner. He went 1-3 for the Eagles. Now, we say Jalen Hurts got pulled against Washington, which he did, but he had an interception and 72 yards at the time. So it's not like he was just dominating and blowing the game away. So you have to be convinced that Jalen Hurts is a future. I'm not necessarily convinced of that. Second thing, you have to be convinced that you can parlay whatever you receive for Carson Wentz into something greater than Carson Wentz. Who's running the show for the Eagles? Howie Roseman, a man who I respect at this junction in time, but I also realize first-round pick for the Eagles last year, Jalen Reagor, drafted before Justin Jefferson. Jalen Reagor didn't really make any noise. First-round pick for the Eagles a year before, Andre Dillard. Andre Dillard, no fault of his own, but hurt this year, hasn't truly contributed. First-round pick the year before. Oh, they didn't have one. First-round pick the year before, Derek Barnett. Now, Derek Barnett was on the team that won the Super Bowl, but he ain't really been a world beater. First-round pick the year before, Carson Wentz. The only player since 2014 the Eagles has drafted that's amounted to a Pro Bowler. So the only player that the Eagles have used to pick on sale that's turned into a Pro Bowler is the same player they want to go trade off. So if you are the Eagles, is it smart to trade Carson Wentz? You got two things to look at. Do we have a viable starter in Jalen Hurts as a backup? The answer is not undeniably yes. The second thing, can we do something with those picks that's greater than Carson Wentz? Again, the answer is not undeniably yes. That's what gives me pause.
You know what is an undeniably yes answer? Carson Wentz is horrible. Last year, at least.
True.
That's real.
That's real.
Second worst completion percentage in the NFL. Good Lord. Second worst passer rating in the NFL. Good Lord. Took the most sacks of any quarterback in the league. Good Lord. So when you show me a full screen like that, I respect it. But then I want you to respect the fact that Carson Wentz was right there for 12 games and is not a rookie, was in his 5th year. Carson Wentz is 24, 30, and 1. Carry the one. Oh, that's a losing record. In the 4 seasons outside of that one great season where he went 11-2. So the averages, law of averages tells me that Carson Wentz is a losing quarterback. Now, let's talk about Jalen Hurts in his rookie year. This is interesting. In the 3 games that he started and played the whole game, they averaged 437 yards per game. second in the entire NFL, only behind one team, my Buffalo Bills. That's interesting because Jalen Hurts sounds like he's a guy who could just make others better. So when you talk about these first-round picks that have not hit, maybe Jalen Hurts is the one that could activate them, kind of how Nick Foles did before with this same locker room. Let's talk about how that same locker room has been lost before in reports by Carson Wentz. He out there buying shotguns and trying to buy dudes for Christmas, but the reports are it's a divided locker room then and now in terms of Nick Foles and with Jalen Hurts. So, Acho, I'm looking at a guy in Carson Wentz who's regressed in completion percentage, passing yards per game, and passer rating each of the last 2 seasons. If you could get a king's ransom for him, you think of him like this, but somebody else thinks of him like this. That gap is too wide for me not to consider it and let him go.
Here's the debate. The question comes down to this. Is Carson Wentz as good as he was in his MVP caliber season? Is he as bad as he was this past season? I shake my head to both.
Yeah,
right? Like, I don't think Carson Wentz is as good as he was in 17. I don't think he's as bad as he was now. So I think he's somewhere in the middle. But in the middle, he's really about 16-16, or he's 21-22. He's a 500 quarterback. And if you want to take away his best, if you want to take away his worst, if you want to aggregate the two, best season, worst season, he's still 14-10-1. So as I look at Carson Wentz, I'd at least want one more opportunity to see what's up. It's risky, but so is those first-round picks. You don't know what they'll turn into.
You ain't lying.